Bob Ciccarello back at Gold's Gym, the mecca of bodybuilding, with super trainer Charles Glass and my main man Adam. We are back for our fourth installment of Getting Cut with Glass. It's back day today, Charles.
Yes, that's what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to start with pull downs, and we're going to do a pull down just a little bit different. Most people like to do it very wide. But what we're going to do is cut it a little short so we can pull from insertion rather than pulling just by leaning back, only hitting the upper back. We're going to go from insertion to insertion, which means we're going to try to work a little lower on the lats by keeping it nice and tight, but pull through, and keeping the elbows in front of you.
Charles, one of the things we talked about before was obviously emphasizing the shoulder taps, giving the illusion of more width, more of that V taper. I can't help but believe that obviously training upper back also has to help with that.
Yes, because you get all that thickness that you need, but mainly the main thing to do to get that nice taper look is to hit the lats. Get them nice and thick at the top, also going all the way down to the bottom. And most people, if you ever notice, they got real high lats because they never pull all the way through. So that's why we're going to demonstrate just a little bit different today.
All right.
I'm using a little different bar this time. And everything goes through. See how his elbows stand in front of him? He stands upright, not leaning back to pull just from the upper back, but pulling all the way through the back. So this is mainly hitting through the lats. And starting from here, all the way down to here. You touch here, you can see exactly where you pull it. It goes all the way down. That's how far he's pulling down. So this can't help but get a little thicker for us. Get that nice big V. Good. There you go. Come on. Now hold at the bottom. Ready? Here we go. Squeeze. That's it. Come on. Do it again. Stop at the bottom. Good. Last one coming up. Pull. There you go. Good. Woo.
Charles, one of the things I noticed is that with all your students, when they're doing pull downs for back, prior to, let's say, 1990, most people I would see training back would be pulling it back and arching a lot, kind of bringing the bar backwards, sometimes too extreme where they're actually, looks like they're doing limbo or something like that. But your students tend to be almost up and down.
Well, that's because I want to go, like I said, through insertion of the lat, not just hitting the upper back and cutting the lats off way up toward the top. I like guys to work all the way through. In order to do that, you got to keep the elbows in front of you, pulling down through the lats. If you notice, if I had your arm up here, and I allow you to do this and pull back, you're stopping right about here.
Right.
All your work is done at the top.
Sure.
But the minute you rotate it to the front, and your elbows in a little bit, now when you push down against my hand.
Catching that lower.
See? You pull all the way down to the lower lat.
So you're not saying pulling back is wrong. What you're saying is that you're actually keeping these guys upright to hit that lower insertion point and bring the lats down more.
It's for a reason, to bring the lats down.
There you go. You heard it here.
Let's go. We'll slide it to the front. Squeeze right there. There you go. Good. Squeeze it in. There you go. Nice. Right here. Come on. Go. There you go. Come on. Do it again. Right there. Good. Perfect. Come on. Good. Now, okay. Come on. Hold it down. Hold it there. Squeeze. Now lift that chest up when you pull down. Lift the chest up. Chest up. Good. There you go. Elbow in front more. Elbow in front more. Right to there. Good. There you go. Good. Woo. Now,
Okay.
if you notice, the reps are cut a little shorter because why? We're squeezing in there, and you gotta hold it. That gonna make that lat work that much more.
Squeeze it and hold.
Stop that. There you go. In. Right there, good. Elbows in front more. Elbows to the front. Two more. Come on. Hold it. Elbows in front. Last one. Good. That's it. That's it out.
The next, Charles, the seated cable row, I believe, is up next on the block.
Yes. Okay, we do it a little different. We use a different set of handles because I like to pull and open it up so you get a little bit more thickness there. Mainly we're trying to hit toward the center part of the back, and by us being able to open up and roll out shoulders back, that should be nice and thick.
Now, one thing I've noticed, Charles, I've been a long advocate of using straps, to kind of minimize the arm involvement, but I notice he actually doesn't use wrist straps.
Well, one reason he doesn't use them is because he's learned over the time not to grab so he don't put the pressure on the forearm.
Right.
We just have a real loose grip, but he has a strong grip, so he's able to hold it there and use everything for his back rather than use it for the forearm.
Makes sense. So you can use the straps, and that's fine. One way to do it, but obviously, as he's been training for a while now, one thing you can do is minimize the grip. Again, you don't want to be white knuckling the bar.
No.
As you can see cleanly, that the more I clench, the more the forearm actually becomes active,
Right.
and the less emphasis on the back.
Right. Well, one of the main reasons I don't use straps because we have a dependency to use those straps too much. And we learned over time that if you go a little lighter, we're still concentrating on the squeezing of the back.
Sure.
It works better for us. So we try not to use it as much as possible, but we will, if we go very heavy,
Sure.
we'll put them on.
Okay.
Here we go. Loosen up. Here we go. March up. Good. There we go. That's it. Good. Now, if you notice, he doesn't come all the way up. He's still leaning forward, but he just arch up from there. So you get a little bit of the erectors, but a lot of the back, mid-back. This is mid-back there. As you stretch here, that's the erectors there. See? So it has a dual purpose. There you go. Come on. There you go. Pull it in. Open it up. Open it up. There you go. Come on. Do it again. Open it. Good. Come on. Here you go. Squeeze. That's it. That's it. Come on. Okay, now hold this. Hold this. Here we go. Squeeze. There you go. One more. One more. Come on. Squeeze. There you go. Good. That.
Charles, I'm noticing on these that you're stopping him halfway. Actually, he's pitched forward a little bit.
That's what I want.
So again, unlike old school, he's not actually arching back and coming back a whole lot.
That's momentum to get him back there, and everything
Right.
else is what? Arms and pull it back. So we stop a little short of that. As we come here, we open it up and squeeze, but we lean it into it just a little bit.
So one thing I'm starting to see is that you kind of have almost two distinctive styles of training. One would be kind of more of a mass building program, or again, where you're going a little bit heavier, maybe using the straps, maybe using a little bit of momentum. The other one, for what Adam's doing, is getting ready for a competition, is really trying to separate that muscle out and really trying to focus on it, lightening the weight a little bit. Again, you're stopping him from using that momentum and minimizing other body parts.
Right. Stop. There you go. Good. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it. That's it. Now you're working back. Come on. Come on. Here we go. There you go. That's my hand to stop. Here we go. Here you go. Good. Do it again. Right. Pull it in. Good. Come on. Pull it in. Here we go. Come on. Squeeze in. Good. Good. Come on. 3 more. 3. Now hold this last 2. Ready? Shoulders back. Ready? Hold it. Now let go. Good. Don't bounce. Ready? Go. Hold it. That's it.
Now, Charles, as we're looking, he's got 120 pounds on there, so you don't really need a whole lot. You don't need to stack, and again, using the momentum and bringing it in. But even at 120 pounds, you've really got this down to a science where, again, he's pitched forwards, but he's using nothing but back, and he's got a minimum grip.
Right. That's the key thing. That minimum grip allows you to work only in your back, not the forearms, not the biceps, and definitely can't put the rear delta in.
Right.
So it works very well. It's more effective. Give me one more, do a drop set with me. Here we go. Ready? All the way down. Let's go. Try to float now. Come on. Okay, one more. Come on. Come on. That's it. On that last one, we did a drop set. And the reason we did the drop set because we started losing that range. And I want that same range to go all the way through, so I dropped it down by 30 pounds. A couple more reps.
But notice, even though we go light, we still make sure we move the weight slowly. Even slow it down even more just to try to get that extra squeeze, get quality out of those 2 extra reps, not the quantity.
Drop set at him. That means 2 more of those, you may be dropping from the bench to the floor.
Exactly.
There's your drop set.
All right, now we're going to go to our single arm rows.
This is a tough one. Single arm rows. Come on with me.